All right, now we can talk.
On.
All right, so I'm just gonna get this out of the way before we go too far, okay?
You didn't read.
Well, I did, but not all of it because it's simple, really. The link you sent me didn't work, John.
Okay, Jacob. I feel like it worked for Cooper,
Yeah, it worked.
and I
Well-
feel like that's a you issue. It sounds like a personal problem.
It worked
Oh.
until it didn't.
Also, Jacob, are you like not using your regular mic or something?
No, I am.
Hmm.
Why?
Okay.
Is
I
it
don't know.
bad?
You sound.
You sound far away.
Yeah, you sound
How
like
about now?
muffled.
No.
Huh? Maybe I gotta change my input device.
Yeah, I think you are using your laptop's mic.
Damn
Damn it, Jacob.
it could be happening. Let's try. Anything better? How about that?
That was better.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right.
Move.
Nice.
But it's still kind of bad though, in a different way.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good.
Is it just my voice, or?
No. It's acousticy. It still sounds like you're outside.
Sounds like you're in a large, echoey room.
Well, this room is a little echoey, I suppose, but
You're in a fucking opera house, I bet. Like,
the acoustics are pretty good in here.
All right, so I'm exporting.
So,
Cool.
Jacob,
So we,
before you were here, John and I were discussing.
Oh, dude, Cooper, choose. Oh my god.
it's hard, dude. You've heard how many calories he's been eating.
We were discussing whether or not the Eye of Sauron is Sauron himself.
Wait, guys. Hang on.
Hang
on. Jacob. Now's not the time. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Fly You Fools podcast.
Oh, yeah.
A podcast that talks a little about J.R.R. Tolkien and his work and a lot about everything else. Enjoy this time with your fellow fools, Tibbs K, Jacob and Cooper. Thank you for listening.
John, I find it strange how difficult it seems to be to play different theme songs each time, like as if you have to go through a whole new set of issues each time.
Well, here's the thing, Cooper.
No,
John is not a techie.
No, he's not.
Shut up, Jacob. First off, I'm not. And second off, it's because I'm trying to play different videos every single time. So like that was locked and loaded. I was just waiting for you guys to stop talking. Like that's you can copy and paste that command right there, and then just click it and it'll play through.
Could I do it?
Yeah, anyone can do it, and you can play any YouTube video.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, we could really lose our Audible subscription if we play something that's.
Yeah, or how about this? Just don't play anything copyrighted.
Our thing's copyrighted, right?
Huh?
Did you copyright our intro?
Our intro isn't copyrighted, but I have the permissions to like use it.
We should copyright it.
Yeah.
No.
You never know who could steal it.
Dude, I'm sure it is actually pretty easy. I know it also is pretty expensive.
No, it's okay.
No way around it.
John, I thought you were a techie. You could figure it out.
You can afford it.
Shut up. God damn.
So the Eye of Sauron, yeah, I mean, it's pretty clearly Sauron himself.
Yeah, and the reason for I'm gonna back this up, Cooper, is that in The Hobbit, they explicitly show like Sauron like standing as the pupil of the eye. Like it's his silhouette, and it like zooms out, and it's really trippy.
Oh yeah, that is kind of trippy.
Wait, so Cooper was saying that it wasn't himself?
No, I wasn't
he
saying
was posing the question.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was an honest to goodness.
But if that's his eye, then that would make the tower his face.
I mean,
I thought more like his penis.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
It just makes sense. The lava of Mount Doom is his semen.
Off to a good start.
All right, Slaughterhouse 5.
Yeah. So how
All
far
right.
were what?
I mean, so I read up until the 5th thing in the audiobook.
Okay, so I'm just one behind you.
Yeah, so you're on 4.
Yeah, I'm on 4.
But here's my question for Cooper, because Cooper seemed like he has a really good story, because Cooper went ahead and went past the half the book that we agreed to read and read the entire thing. And I, for one, would love to hear what spurred this.
Yeah.
Mainly the quarantine and having a lot of free time.
There was
But
some bigger story there.
the other story is it was fantastic. It was just really good, so I finished it.
Good. See, it's classic. At first, I know what you mean. You're kind of like, what? Why is he talking like this?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get farther into it, and you're like, I kind of like this for some reason.
Hot take: hate this book.
Really?
Hate it.
That's how I felt the first time too.
Dude, I mean, the thing is about it, and like, the whole, and maybe it's because I'm only halfway through, but the whole Troglodyte space storyline
Troflamador?
seems so pointless.
No, it's not pointless. It's not pointless.
It
See,
seems
Cooper
like
knows what
that's
happens.
but even still, so it's like, if it's not pointless, and I get to that part, maybe I'll eat my words. But it just seems like an excuse for him to write trippy for frickin' and like say weird shit about the human condition by having aliens talk about us.
So you're thinking about this too much as a story, and I'm not gonna. I don't want to give anything away, but like if you have that opinion, it's not going to be changed by you reading it. This isn't a book about like a story and a character or anything. It's more of like what it all means just as one. And part of the Trial Malfadorian's, whole aspect is that everything as it is, and nothing can change how things are. And time, linear spectrum, whatever, or like a mountain range. So everything happens the same way no matter what. And so they say, when anyone dies, and so it goes, and things like that.
Dude, and I'm saying he said that he got that message across in the first chapter of talking about So It Goes in the Tralfadorian. And I know the whole thing is that it's a vehicle for him to kind of experience all the events of the war and all this shit. And there's so much awful stuff that happens, and it's super traumatizing. But I'm like, the back and forth, I understand what that does to like the situation as a whole, what it's saying about like the people that go through these conflicts and stuff like that. It's just so kind of on the nose and like blatantly done for me that I'm like, oh my God, I can't suffer this guy.
So I think you got to just like kind of enjoy it for what it is. He's using a fairly entertaining and lighthearted way to say these things, and you have to just kind of take it like that. You can't like overanalyze the aliens and what it's all about. They have their message, and then he has the message of the book, and he has a few of them, and then he kind of puts it in a somewhat entertaining, not even storyline, but just kind of setting.
Yeah, that's something I totally agree with. I feel like it's all kind of weirdly just setting.
Yeah. There's no like progression really.
I think in chapter 4, at some point he mentions that like he was the guy on the train that like had to shit his pants real bad or something like that. Not Billy, but like when he's stumbling in the latrine after like meeting up with the British people. The guy, he's like, yeah, some guy was in the latrine really spewing his guts out or something like that. It's like, that was me. And then he's like, but back to Billy. And I was like, that's interesting that he just kind of throws himself out there like that.
Yeah, and actually kind of like the first chapter where it's sort of, you don't really know when the Billy part even starts.
Oh, dude, I hated the fucking chapter, man. Ooh.
The beginning.
Ooh, what a horrible. And see, I think that's what kind of put the whole taste in my mouth is like the first chapter is so weirdly pretentious while trying to be anything but. And I think that for the time when this came out, it probably was like a different mode of thinking and stuff like that, but like his whole dealing with like the way to write this, I don't know. It's just it seems I don't know. It's not it was so on the nose. Just everything is so boom right in front of your face.
Yeah, I suppose I see what you mean. I still enjoy it though, particularly having like read some of the other books. His other books, like Cat's Cradle and Signs of Titan, they're similar, and I just know like what it's about. You know what I'm saying? I kind of see.
Yeah, I had the
Sort of
exact
know what
same.
to enjoy about it.
I had the exact same experience because I definitely did not like Breakfast of Champions, but then when I read this, I enjoyed it a lot because I kind of knew what to expect.
Yeah, yeah, and it's sort of like, yeah, it's just kind of like the whole thing is sort of trippy and just sort of, yeah, it's just weird. It's just like it just makes you feel kind of weird.
And he makes references because the one other book I read, part of Kilgore Trout, is in that one as well, and he's a part of this book, a pretty big part. So I don't know if you guys read that part yet.
I haven't got to that part yet.
Yeah, we're not.
But the Tramflodorians, they're in another one of his books too.
Right, exactly. And the Siren of Titans one, right?
Yeah, sorry, Titans, yeah. So it's just kind of like, huh. Yeah, it's weird. I wonder how I thought of this stuff. You think he's more or less creative than Tolkien?
Oh, dude. Oh, man. I don't even.
What do you think about that, Johnny?
I mean, I don't think.
I kind of feel like he's more creative.
Oh, god damn, dude. Just not at all. Like, and I know you're saying this just to bite me into it, but like, I don't like. It's just. I think that's the weird thing about reading it when it is, or for what it is right now. So, like, there's that whole scene when he first gets to the Trollfedorians zoo thing. And like him breaking down the setting of how fake it all is. And then him talking with the zookeeper about all of this stuff and how humans just don't understand. And like all this war stuff. Like those scenes, they feel like it's been done just so many times before. And I'm sure that it's because I'm reading a book from. I mean, this came out in 1970, right?
I think 1960s.
And I mean, the 60s, it probably was like what? A people zoo?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. But now I'm kind of like, that's been done. And the weird thing is, like, you're right, there is an origin to everything. So it's certainly possible that he got it, like, and he kicked off that idea. But, like, Rick and Morty does that. Like, a bunch of other sci-fi stuff. Star Trek did episodes of that idea.
Right. Well, don't you think that's similar to Lord of the Rings then? You know, in like more ways than one, you know, like.
But where I think about the creativity of Lord of the Rings is that it's super, super layered within itself. And basically, Tolkien can explain everything that happens. Whereas if Faulkner was trying to explain it, he would just be like, yeah, you wouldn't get it because you're not a Trollfedorian.
Vonnegut.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's how he can cop it out. Like, oh, ha ha ha. You just don't understand time like we do because you don't see in the fourth dimension. There are actually 8 genders. And, like, I get what he's trying to say about all those genders. It all comes down to, like, oh, it makes the world go around. Like, you need people of different, like, and all of this shit in, like, a fun sci-fi way. But for me, it feels boring. Feels boring.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I think maybe like because me and Cooper have been through, you know, some serious literature training, it's sort of a little bit easier to enjoy.
Agreed.
Yeah, that could be it.
We understand the concepts.
You understand? I mean, God, who a retard could read this book and understand the concepts?
You think?
John, what's the main theme then?
I haven't finished it yet, and it would be erroneous for me to discuss.
What do you think the main thing is?
that at the end of the day, you can't really help what happens, and you're sort of just along for the ride.
I mean, that's part of it, but that's not really his main intention.
Well, I'm not finished with it. So how could I say?
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. It's like, and maybe it gets better because, like, I mean, again, I'm not done with the book, and there are books that have turned around on me. Like, ask me what I thought about Brothers Karamazov when I was this amount through it, and I would have been like, this book is just boring.
Did you catch the Brothers Karamazov reference in this book?
Yeah, dude.
What is it?
I can't remember. They just bring it up. They said something about the like everything's inside the pages of Brothers Karamazov or something like that.
Yeah, somebody tells Billy that you can everything about life is in that book. But also when it comes to that book, I think I know your problem. You're listening to it on tape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way you could like because you got to slow it down. You got to read it.
No, but I ended up liking that book a lot. Like
okay.
at the end, like it all came back around. And like I still think to this point, like there didn't need to be so much backstory about the elderly monk that eventually passed away. I mean, it did show that he had an immense status in the community and Alyosha's life, but like I don't know. I was kind of like, well, this book, because it's done by books, it's just so long.
Yeah, it's
you know
long.
what I mean? I think there's like a reason why like movies and all this stuff gets edited down, and I think the editors are so crucial in making great works of art. Like I would like the scenes that get cut from Lord of the Rings, for instance, like the extended editions. All those are good scenes, but I understand why they took every single one out.
A movie is not a book. A movie is not a book written
in
Russia
even
in
the
90s.
same way, even in the same way in Lord of the Rings, if you look at the different drafts between what Tolkien had and what his editors would pass, you know what I mean? Like he only published the Lord of the Rings because the editors, much like you did, Cooper, read the half of the Silmarillion and said, "This is stupid. I don't like this. This is boring. We want more hobbits and we want more fun."
Different is all I'm going to say there.
But even still, there's just, I mean, I can't compare different drafts, but I know things got cut. Stephen King talks a lot about it in his book, that like things get cut all the time that help the story. It's like leaves of a tree that are sort of dead, and you're doing it for looks. So you just cut off those dead leaves, and you get left with a bigger, more beautiful bush, even though it's actually smaller. Like J.R.R. Martin talks a lot about that.
George R.R. Martin?
Yeah, George R.R. Martin. In a bunch of interviews, he said there are times, because his wife's his editor, when she reads chapters that he just wrote and goes, "What the fuck were you? No. This is stupid. Get rid of it."
Yeah, but I don't think the Brothers Karamazov had a bunch of that.
Okay, I mean, yeah, sure, but I mean, it's all. I mean, that's like saying, "Oh yeah." I mean, I guess you're right. So the Odyssey and stuff like that would have been edited. But I'm saying, like, now, if I could go back, I would have fun being like, all right, let's get rid of this, and then see how many pages that I could fit what I felt like was the whole story down. Because I feel like you could cut a couple hundred pages.
Yeah, but the story, and much like this book, like Slaughterhouse 5, you know, the things that happen, like the chronological story isn't really the main part of it. It's all these side things and all these meanings of different characters and all these other things that are the actual you know, bread and butter of the book. The actual story.
You know what they call that story type of storytelling, Cooper? Let's see if you can remember from Miss McAdams' class.
Is it
you know what it is? It's easy. Jacob, do you know?
No, wait, was Miss McAdams the one who like made you fall asleep when she talked?
I mean, you're describing almost every teacher I've ever had.
Miss McAdams.
No, she was kind of feisty.
Yeah, she was cool.
No, she wasn't the one then.
She was the one that shared a room with the black room.
Yeah, the like photography dark room. Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't have her then. So I wouldn't have learned anything. I was too busy sleeping.
Cooper.
I know what you're referring to. I believe I might be wrong, but
a frame story.
Yeah, I was gonna say a frame, but I didn't think that was like the right like
a frame.
Yep. No, I mean that's it, and like that's what I'm saying. Like I get it, and like a lot of those. If you want to read shit about frame stories, there's this book called Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace that like won a bunch of awards and all this stuff, and like he got even more famous because he killed himself by overdosing on heroin. But like that book only exists in these little side stories, like just like Slaughterhouse 5, like it just bounces around chronologically in no particular order, and you don't even know what's going on because it's talking about like an alternate America where like a jazz singer with severe OCD like takes or gets a hold of America, so they get rid of all the trash and pretend everything's clean, but they just fling the trash into Canada, which creates super guinea pigs, like crazy shit like that. And it's all frame stories, so like the point where you'll read like email logs in between people, like chapters are formatted like emails, where it's like entire fucking chapters of dialogue with like different emails. It's crazy. It's such a weird fucking book, and it is fantastic, but it's also 3,000 pages long.
See, can't
not 3,000 pages long. I won't make a page count. It's stupid. I mean, it's crazy long.
At least Slaughterhouse 5 just gives it to you, you know, quick and dirty.
And I think that's kind of my problem. There are very few, I would say, small books that I really love. Honestly, like, I mean, I don't know, because like these kind of day read books. Let me see how many pages. 1,079. And it is fantastic.
They should call it the very long but not infinite jest.
Have you guys ever read the book that freaking Dylan recommends? Recommended?
No, what was that?
God, I can't remember what it was. Fuck. It's about a really fat
Mein Kampf.
No. Yeah, Mein Kampf. It sounds kind of like Infinite Jest, but it's about a fat nerd lives with mother novel.
Oh, is that you, John?
John, a Confederacy. It's a Confederacy of Dunces. I read it. Yeah, it's really good. It's not long at all, though.
How long is it?
It's not that long. It's like probably a couple hundred pages.
That's good. If it's quick, it's quick, and you know.
That's a really funny book, though.
That is a really funny book, man.
That was a good one, Jacob.
I really didn't think it was about you, John. I thought you were like making some like self-deprecating joke. I guess not.
No. Nope, you're just mean. Yeah, you're right. It's only 405. But no, man, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know.
Well, anyways, I think. Hey, man, I think it's good that taking something different, you know, getting away from Lord of the Rings for a little bit.
No, I think this is nice. This is a nice.
Trying something new out. There you go.
And it's fun that it's like reversed, where I'm not a fan of it and you guys are big fans.
Mm.
Yeah,
I'll be interested to see if I like it at the end.
Me too.
I think you will. But
because like we haven't really even gotten to Dresden.
Yeah, at least us. Yeah.
So I think it's funny you mentioned Rick and Morty earlier, because doesn't this book feel like it inspired Rick and Morty? And so
yeah, it does. That's what I'm saying.
There's so many different themes, and you know, it just seems
got that energy.
It feels the same. Yeah.
It's like a much sadder and very not at all.
It's not quite as funny. Yeah, you're cutting out, John.
Yeah, no, Slaughterhouse 5 is not a funny. I wouldn't describe it on my list of ha-ha books.
But it is kind of funny though. Like it's kind of humorous.
It is. It's funny, and it's in its own like
weird,
kind of dark, and like nothing really matters.
Way.
nothing
Okay,
matters, so might as
but
well just laugh at the world kind of
give me
way.
an example, a nihilist way. I hate that shit. That existentialism bullshit, man. Ooh.
But you like Rick and Morty?
Huh? I like
That
Rick
is-
and Morty for the butt jokes. I like Rick and Morty for Morty, not Rick, because Morty's so much more fun. And even he's like not hold on to things. He's kind of like, yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying, Rick, but I'm also not a huge fucking douchebag that everyone hates. Because why would I want to be you? Because that's an awful way to live. And so he's like, I'm going to do my own thing. And he does. He gets caught up on things that he shouldn't get caught up on. He's a very human character despite being constantly bombarded with, you don't matter, it's all bullshit. He just likes to have a good time, man.
Wow. Kind of sounds like you, John.
Not really, man.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, how about new topic? What are you guys going to do with your stimulus check?
Yeah, I'm going to get a new computer, I think.
Good call. I like that. I like where you're going with that.
Like, I mean, I think because I do live with my mom, I'm only going to get $500, though.
Bummer.
But I don't really mind because I have a job that still pays me.
That's good. 500 is better than nothing.
Yeah, and 500 is the majority of the computer.
Yeah, it's going to get you a long way for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, what? I only have $200 to make up. For sure, I'll take that.
You think you're going to build it?
I don't know yet, man. I mean, probably, or might get iBuyPower to build it. Just because, like, part of me is like, I fucking shouldn't be putting high technology electronics together.
Yeah.
Fucked the USB port on this current one that I have. Like,
yeah, I was just gonna say I looked online a little bit, John, just like because I was getting bored, so I was looking at it. And yeah, dude, you should definitely just build your own or like customize it because the ones they sell are just not. It's never exactly what you want. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And it's not a good deal. You could just do it for cheaper by yourself for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many different things going on hardware swap now. People trying to sell their gaming computers that like bought it and then realized like, oh, this is 2 months.
I could see that. I could see
like,
that.
I've been looking at that because there has been some great deals. Like I found a pair of $60 Galaxy Buds, which are basically just AirPods, on eBay that I copped.
Nice.
Because I want to just be able to push a button and plug into my computer with my headphones. Because the headphones that like came with my mic and like all my other shit are just awful and they constrict my head and I don't know. I'm over it. I need less wires in my life.
Wow, you should get a wireless charger too.
Dude, that's such a great idea. Because then I can have the wire from my wireless charger plugging into the wall instead of my other wires.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
That's the one thing that pissed me off about it.
And then you can only put your phone right on that one location instead of being able to move it around. It's like a wireless charger isn't good. Like it actually restricts your phone more than a cord.
Yep. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's only done because it's fucking like weirdly high. Like it's like the future thing.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean it is neat. How they actually make batteries do that is beyond me. The first guy that got that to work must have been like, holy shit, guys, everybody.
Yeah.
Look at this. I just put it on a fucking battery and now it's charging.
Talk about Nikola Tesla, man. That's what he was thinking.
Yeah.
So, Cooper, what are you going to do with your stimulus check? Probably something boring, like pay rent.
Yeah, like rent and buy food. I'm boring.
What are you doing?
Survive.
That's a great question, John. I'm glad you asked.
If I was
almost like this was all a setup.
Dude, I kind of want to get a new bike.
That's a good idea, man.
Just a really nice like touring bike, or just like a bunch of shit for my current bike. Just some new parts, new rims, new wheels, new brakes. Just like make it nice.
Yeah, you can make it pretty nice.
Nice touring setup.
The only thing is it's not quite as easy to mess with when you don't have the hokey bike hub, you know?
That is true. I don't have.
They had everything, and it was so nice.
And they had like skilled technicians who could tell you what to do. Exactly. The best part.
That made it so nice.
Yeah, and all those like special little tools. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was looking on Craigslist. So there's some. You can get some pretty nice used bikes. Like pretty. Like I want like one kind of like Dylan's with little beefier tires. You can get some good shit though.
Right.
So there you go. Yeah, some gear.
I mean, now's the perfect time for used markets, man.
That's what I'm saying, dude. A lot of stuff is going up on it.
Because everyone's like, hell yeah.
I was like, hell yeah. I can't feed myself. Got to sell my stuff. And I'm like, ha.
My gain.
Maybe I shouldn't have spent
my gain.
On a bike, if I don't bike that much.
Yeah.
Because so many people have just fucking instantly they're thinking about getting a bike and they're like, yeah, fuck it, I'll use this every day and buy a $3,000 bike.
A nice one, yeah.
Dude, that is exactly what happened with my friend's dad. He bought a $9,000 mountain bike and used it probably twice, and he offered to sell it to me for like $1,000 a few years ago.
Isn't that crazy, man?
Yeah. Like that's the kind of deal I'm looking for.
Right.
Just some really nice shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's definitely possible. Like that, and that's what I'm saying about hardware swap now. It's like all these like online market things. They're like the shit that there's going up for is like some guy sold his HTC Vive, which is the $900 VR thing, for $400.
Damn,
still had the box, still had all the controllers. And it's like, yeah, that was a great deal, but like, fuck, man, that's more than 50%.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, there you go.
Dude, I know, man. I know. I'm excited about it. But I'm also not trying to jump on anything. I'm trying to still play this market,
Yeah, play cool. Play it real cool.
Be cool, bro. Be cool.
Cool. I'm cool.
I'm running out of alcohol though, slowly.
You could buy $1,000 worth of alcohol.
Yeah.
There you go, John.
$1,000 versus of grain alcohol. Just nothing.
How many bathtubs of moonshine could you buy?
Oh, dude,
a
lot, enough.
You could bathe yourself in every night, and kill all the viruses.
Ooh.
And also probably kill yourself.
Isn't that the point?
Right, dude. I wonder if that would kill you. I mean, it's gotta, right?
It just goes right through your skin. Just
like you gotta. If you took a bath,
you probably get drunk.
You would probably have so much wrong happen with your. This is something I'll look up for next cast.
I don't know that or nothing. Like
Yeah, or nothing.
I could also see absolutely nothing happening.
Crazy skin rash happen.
yeah. Your skin might feel kind of weird, but
yeah.
John,
I just can't.
Yeah, John, you shouldn't Google this. You should just try it and report back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough money to get the alcohol.
Stimulus check, bro.
That's true, man.
You're gonna get the stimulus check, so you might as well spend the money now.
Right? You'll get it. You'll get it in the future.
Okay, so I was thinking of things we could do for this cast, and I was thinking it might be a funny segment if we picked a word, just any word, and tried to describe what the origin of it is, and like what the guy was thinking when he first created that word or name for anything or whatever.
I like this idea.
Yeah. So I had one word come to mind, and that's why I thought of this. But my word for the week is going to be cleavage.
Thanks for that, Cooper.
What I always think of a cleaver like cutting into some meat.
Yeah. Actually, before we get to this, I had a really quick comment.
Okay.
Cooper, you reminded me strongly of Weary. What's his name in the book?
Okay.
I was getting some really, really strong vibes from him. That really made me think of you.
I had a feeling you would say that because I too have a few large knives.
Yeah. Really into hurting people, like really mean.
Well, I don't know. Can't really argue with that.
It's a strong Cooper energy from that.
Right.
Anyways, back to the cleavage remark.
Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think? Like, do you guys think of a cleaver?
I think of rocks.
Rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to explain that, John?
Rocks?
What about rocks?
You guys don't think of the cleavage angle of a rock? Of a mineral, per se?
What are you talking about?
You guys never took geology?
Like how a rock gets how a rock formation?
Yeah.
How a rock formation gets like cut? Oh, I see what you mean. Like cut into a valley?
Yeah.
Wait, so what does that mean?
There's like the way it cuts and like the angle is like unique to every metal and like mineral.
Oh, interesting. And that's called the cleavage?
Yeah, and so like the way it breaks, like, and that's a good way of identifying them is like if it's like 60 degrees, like it will only break in 60 degrees because of like the like atomic structure of the mineral.
Oh.
It's called the cleavage angle. And so that's one way you can test for minerals.
I like that. I think that might be where it comes from.
that probably is it.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That does sound kind of right, huh? Wow, John, you might be a nerd after all.
No, I mean, it's not. I'm not a nerd just because I know what a cleavage angle is, man.
Lots of people
know that. Geologists all over the world.
So are you saying a geologist was the first person to coin this term?
Probably not, but the name cleavage.
Yeah, like, it sort of has that like
cleavage was probably like, oh, that's the cleavage, and then over time it's been referred to as like an angular cut.
Oh. Yeah, I think that's where it comes from. Wow, John really just solved that one. All right, I have a better one. A little bit harder.
Okay.
How about fireplace?
A place for the fire.
Yeah, that's.
What are you talking? That's not even. That requires no thought at all. It's just so obvious.
Fireplace.
A place for the fire. Is that a joke?
All right, well, it's your turn, John.
Are you being sarcastic right now?
I'm being sarcastic.
Okay.
All right, your turn, though, John.
All right. It's kind of. I mean, the problem is like you can pick a.
Jacob fucked it all up.
I'm thinking. I mean, I would steak.
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 Like a steak or a cut of meat.
But that's the thing is that like steak, like spelled two different things. I was thinking it in my head, cut of meat, but it sounds exactly the same as the original, just like a steak, and it makes you wonder, how is a steak called a steak? You know what I mean? Like, obviously the wooden pike object, a steak, came first, but who cut a chunk of meat out and said, this here's a steak?
I don't know if that came first. But I mean, we were eating.
And here's the question to ponder. What came first, steak or steak?
Yeah.
I think the wooden stick came first.
It's got to have been, but then who was the asshole that said, hey, let's move the E around? And like, why would you name it if it already has the name? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't name something else phone or rock.
Or fair.
You know, I wouldn't cut a chunk of meat out and be like, hey, this is the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's go have some rocks of meat. You know, you just don't do that. But someone did it for steaks.
Maybe it was to spite the guy who initially named the other steak.
Yeah, the caveman.
He's like, I'm going to call this steak.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. He'd be like, yeah, idiot. Well, what's beef? And everyone loves beef, so.
Let's beef.
And that's how the origin of beef came about.
Yeah, that's right. Interesting. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
that's a great point. I feel like we're getting into an even deeper question, which is words, man. You know, what's going on with words?
Dude,
right.
I mean,
like the first word.
I mean, it was Latin, man.
The first ever word that meant something.
It was.
It's probably just like "ga," and that referred to like Like,
you're killing me.
yeah. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
It's like that simple.
I mean, I don't know. Like, how do you even? Because like, who gets to decide what was the first word? I mean, it has to be what was recorded first.
It's just whatever people start using. Yeah, it was first definitely like screams, screams of pain, probably. Just look at animals. That's how you can kind of figure out, what to think. Anyways.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Intelligent conversation.
Yeah.
Fireplace? Yeah, play the outro.
All right, guys. So there's two, and then the first one is the one I originally made, Cooper. Then the second one you're gonna hear is the one I made with Jacob's suggestions.
With Jacob's suggestions?
No, John, you should have told them which is which. Play them. Shuffle them up.
I don't think it will matter.
I know the first one.
Elijah Hood here for the XFL Wildcats, and I'm a big You Fools podcast fan, so I know they was looking for Elijah Wood, but they found me. Keep searching for that one true ring and rock on.
I like the
little Legend of Zelda
here for the XFL Wildcats, and I'm a big Fly You Fools podcast fan, so I know they was looking for Elijah Wood, but they found me. Keep searching for that one true ring and rock on.
So the only difference is Gandalf says "Fly you fools," him saying "fools," and I don't know which one to do. I mean, honestly, like in a weird way, I like the cutout because it's just like another thing. But Jacob's not wrong. It is sort of hard to hear.
It's hard to hear Gandalf say "Fly you fools."
And I looked for different ways of him saying it.
Can you play it again?
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta copy and paste it. Hey Cooper, why don't you try playing it?
Yeah, okay.
Wait, you just copy and paste that?
Yeah. And if you play one while another song's playing, it will cue. That's the intro, Cooper.
My B.
Oh, God, Cooper.
Way to go. Now I gotta sit through this.
Welcome to the Fly You Fools podcast. A podcast that talks a little about J.R.R. Tolkien and his work, and a lot about everything else. Enjoy this time with your fellow fools, Tibbs K, Jacob, and Cooper. Thank you for listening.
Alright. Did you just do it again?
Elijah Hood here for the XFL Wildcats, and I'm a big You Fools podcast fan, so I know they was looking for Elijah Wood, but they found me. Keep searching for that one true ring and rock on.
I like that. That's so fun. I like how he also says keep searching for that one true ring.
Yeah,
he said that on his own. He said that on his own.
That's not
Elijah Hood here for the XFL Wildcats, and I'm a big Fly You Fools podcast fan, so I know they was looking for Elijah Wood, but they found me. Keep searching for that one true ring and rock on.
Maybe that one is better.
I'm so decided. I'm in the middle, Cooper.
Because I think the second one's better, and I'll tell you why. Because he doesn't say I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. He says I'm a big Fly You Fools podcast fan.
Well.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Is that he did not say he was a big fan of our podcast. And I took the word fan. No.
He cut it up.
I cut it up.
Yes. Yes. That's okay. All right. I like that. It's very clear to hear in the second one, though. So maybe keep that. Yeah.
I just love it.
I absolutely.
It's so funny.
I'm so in love with it.
Keep searching for that one true ring.
and I have him saying like just like big fan, and like Elijah Wood and stuff like that. And if I can figure out a way to get it uploaded, we can do like a little soundboard.
Yeah, I love it. I know they were searching for Elijah Wood, but they found me.
Yeah, they was looking for Elijah Wood. Me. Like I was gonna originally, because my first idea for it was gonna be having him answer like either Golem's or Smaug's questions. Be like, "Who are you?" I'm Elijah Hood. Like,
you can play with it.
That would be pretty good.
But no, I think I can go with the second one. The second one works.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh man, I forgot.
I like how you can also like tell that it's like kind of cut up a little bit. It's like what, but it's still good.
Yeah, I want people to.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, to be like, oh, he didn't actually say that, because he did. I mean, in all full 100% disclosure, Elijah Hood does not listen to our podcast.
Okay, so John, how are memes coming?
Not great. Not at all. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, how many did you get?
What?
Oh, you mean your
who won the memes?
No, I meant in general. How many have you created? But both questions, really.
Jacob won at 61.
Yes. Did I beat yours too, John?
Yeah, you beat mine at 49.
Nice.
But I'm attributing that to just the time, but whatever. And then Cooper,
I would attribute to the genius.
Yours is hanging out at 12.
12?
I'm surprised you got 12. Not like -2.
But here's the deal: the 12 people that like mine really a lot more. Yeah,
that's true. That is true.
I believe that.
Yeah, they really like.
They're like, oh yeah.
But no, I mean Cooper, I'm working on the outro instead of memes recently.
Okay.
So
I'm a little hesitant. I'm a little hesitant to follow Elijah Hood on Instagram until we get a few good memes up there.
No, yeah,
good likes.
I gotta give,
because I don't think he'll follow back.
No. well, the thing is like we at least need to like I will definitely at one point in time put out the original cameo on the XFL Wildcats Reddit page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do we have? Is that video ours?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. I could put it on Instagram.
But it's also public. So anyone who looks at Elijah Hood
on his like thing, they can see it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see that.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, it's public, it's up for grabs.
Okay.
I'm gonna honestly, just how freaking cool is he for doing it?
Yeah.
And also adding "keep searching for that one true ring" and "rock on." Oh my god!
Great line. Great line.
So great.
I like how he's wearing a robe too.
Yeah, clearly. And my mom was like, "Oh, he's wearing a bathrobe. Like, I thought he could at least get dressed." And I'm like, "No, mom, that's perfect."
That is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
Keep searching for that one true ring. Like what? What story is he thinking of?
Yeah.
What's crazy though is that the guy who does Master Chief's voice is now doing cameos for charity.
That guy has an awesome voice.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
But there's $70, and you get to use his voice however you want. And I've been thinking about it. But I'm not doing it just yet. But
maybe like an intermediate, like if one of us says something stupid, you can have a Master Chief response that you just throw right in there.
Totally worth $70.
Soundboard. Yeah, I mean that would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, Jacob. I would. It might not be worth 70 exactly, but a cool 40, I think so.
For what? For
like a soundboard, just Master Chief insults and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many phrases do you think you get for $70?
I don't know. Probably not a lot. I mean, the Elijah Hood thing, I had to write a 250-word blurb, and I couldn't use more.
Yeah.
And I just had to let him just freeball it and
freeball it.
He did a good job.
And he did a great job, and I'm now an XFL Wildcats fan. And
yeah, me too. That's my new favorite XFL team.
Honestly, and it's so. He didn't have to do it. and he did it, and he just made. I mean, God, when that morning when I woke up and I saw that he did the cameo, I got the text. I was so over the moon. I don't know. I was so pumped, and just how cool Elijah Hood, and he played in the NFL. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if he made a team. Oh no, he was on the Panthers, I think.
And the Jaguars. He got traded around a little bit.
Well, same team.
Really?
Mhm.
Did you
No,
guys hear that
kind of a joke.
MLB is saying we're gonna have everyone all teams just live in Arizona. And they're just gonna play in like rapid tournament style in Arizona.
Dude, I love it.
That sounds way more interesting, right?
Yeah, dude. I like that way more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but John, did you see that UFC card?
Yeah, I'm pissed, man.
I'm pissed, but it's also awesome. So
Yeah, it's a great UFC card, but I'm still pissed.
yeah.
Poor Rose is about to get hurt again.
Oh, who is she fighting?
I don't know, but I don't think she's that all that hot.
Well, attractiveness doesn't really.
No, that's
dictate
not. It's not enough time. Next UFC, what is it? I can't believe Greg Hardy got on it.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I hope he loses.
I really hope he loses.
Everyone in the universe hopes he loses.
His last few fights were so boring.
So boring. Oh yeah, Jessica Andrade, the girl that basically snapped Rose Namajunas' neck. Oh,
That's who she's
gonna
fighting
be so
again?
sad. Yeah, that was her last fight.
Rematch?
Yeah, and she's about to get absolutely murdered. Poor girl.
Gotta see it.
Jessica
Gotta see it.
Andrade is so fucking. She's crazy. And then Tony Ferguson's fighting Justin Gaethje.
That's still gonna be a great fight. Although I know it's not real wanted.
Do you think Dustin has a chance?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's the UFC, so they always have a chance. But I don't
Nah,
know.
I think Ferguson beats him still, but
Yeah, I think Ferguson beats him easy. I think it's so funny that they couldn't get Khabib.
I know it's like, dude, he should just stay in the U.S. Why didn't he?
Yeah, did you hear about that, Cooper?
No.
He left to Russia.
He left to Russia.
Yeah, it's like the fight was coming up. When was the fight supposed to be? It's at the end of this month, right? 28th.
April 18th.
Yeah, so 2 weekends from now.
That's when this card is too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, but no, and so it was coming up, and he just pieced out to Russia because of coronavirus,
Mm.
and then refused to come back because I don't know where. Do you know where they're holding it?
They set up on like a private island.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
undisclosed private island.
Right. That's pretty dope.
They're gonna get so much hate mail for that, but I'm totally for it.
No,
yeah,
dude,
it's
they're not
great.
gonna get any hate mail for that. Everyone combat happened.
It's pretty dope.
It's pretty dope. As long as there's a volcano in the background.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they do put cool shit in the background. And it's gonna be. Do you think they're gonna put crowd in?
Like what, fake crowd or?
Well, a lot of places when they were doing even the people not in the stands, they were putting fake crowd noises in.
Oh, I could see that honestly. Like just like recordings from like a bar somewhere or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting.
Yeah.
Right. I'm excited for Corona Sports, man. That MLB thing sounds dope.
Yeah, honestly, it just sounds better.
Like a Little League World Series thing, but for fucking MLB.
Yeah. Maybe I'll actually watch it. Nah.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys. Well, in that case, should we run the outros again?
Yeah, let's run it, dude.
Sure.
Run the second one, dude.
I can't run just the second one. They're together.
All
We don't
right.
have to run. Oh. That's right. Let me tell you about this, man. This is the funniest thing. So someone that we know, and I'm not going to say names because they might listen to the podcast or they might not, has a girlfriend who he's not able to see right now because of the quarantine. However, this past weekend, it was her birthday. So he decided to go to her parents' house, which was only a few hours away from where he's staying, for her birthday, but explicitly needed to leave early on Sunday. Really needed to leave early. Made that absolutely clear. For reasons work-related, right? And I guess from who it is, you might be able to tell. But halfway through the night, or halfway through the Sunday, the work-related issue cancels. Only he just wants to get back in time early anyways. So he insists, he rejects his girlfriend's mother offering him to stay, and he leaves right after dinner, and they move dinner up just for him. And this one of our friends makes the decision to go hang with one of his friends in a town further away from his girlfriend's house in the opposite direction, where he would pick up some alcohol and sandwiches from this person. And needless to say, girlfriend is not cool with sandwich eating or alcohol drinking. And so as he's pulling in to buy those sandwiches, the girlfriend's best friend is standing outside of the apartment complex where the sandwich dealer lives. And so she sees that friend of ours in his truck driving to go buy sandwiches and immediately texts his girlfriend. And he just got fucked so hard. He drove 2 hours the opposite direction. He had to drive by his girlfriend's house on the way home because he's such an idiot. And he left her birthday weekend early to buy sandwiches, if you know what I'm saying.
He couldn't have just gone the next morning?
Well, it gets even better, dude. It gets even better. Turns out the Saturday night, they went to the same town where the sandwich dealer hung out. So he could have gotten it then too. But instead, he like rejects her mom's advice, like, and her saying, "Stay the night. Like, you don't need to go. Like, we know there's a 9 p.m. curfew, but you can just get up early in the morning." And he's like, "No, I gotta go. I said I have a work thing. I gotta go to work." And needless to say, he was not going to work.
Great.
So this friend, I was gonna ask. That's who I guessed.
And we all knew. But yeah, and so it's just so funny. But everything's okay now. She just got really mad for a little bit, and thankfully she doesn't listen to this podcast. And I doubt will. Oh shit! There we go.
Oh boy. Well, if you're listening, hey,
buddy.
No, I'm gonna bleep out the name.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about sandwiches. Name, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
We're not in 2019. But yeah. Casting. But yeah. So that's a funny story. Oh man. Okay. And so that girlfriend's mom is a big like multi-level marketing like schemer. Like she like believes in like this thing called a beamer mat. Have you seen these mats, Cooper?
A beamer mat?
Yeah, a beamer mat. It like shoots you with light and it increases your circulation.
Oh, I just have heard of these.
They're like $5,000. They're like $5,000.
I gotta check this out.
Yeah.
Just check out it's like a scarf that you wear, and like I'm like, what does it even do? And like, it just, I don't know, man. It just
blasts you with light.
But it's a multi-level marketing 100% of the way. It's like you buy multiple because the products are so expensive. You buy them and then you like sell them to people that you know.
Yeah, this is very. I'm not so sure. Just 8 minutes twice a day.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Try and look for anything that it does.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
It says poor blood flow versus good blood flow, and then it shows, good versus bad blood flow. It doesn't show anything about the product or what it does.
Yeah,
it doesn't show a thing.
It doesn't show a thing. The miracle of Beamer in just 8 minutes. Twice
dude,
a day.
I'm like, is this all I have to do to get rich? Just make some shit up?
Apparently, if you make it look nice enough.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and so real cool person. She goes to a mega church, which is wonderful.
One
of those rock churches, and she also takes these things called enneagrams. They're like a personality machine, and it's like machine. Let me see.
Dude, I actually took that quiz really recently. It's just a personality test.
Yeah, but she like devoutly like believes in it, and apparently has a machine that like
oh my gosh
reads you.
NASA and Beamer, a match made in space.
Like,
exactly.
I'm just looking at this shit. It's just like not even correct. Like,
I mean, it's incredible.
It's also just giving you facts, but it doesn't actually say what any of their stuff does.
And that's what I'm saying. But like, click on like the event thing. Like that's when it gets all fucking.
Click on the what?
Culty.
Beamer Brook.
National Discover Beamer.
Whoa, Brooke, yeah.
Damn. Interesting.
God damn, dude. So,
gotta love it.
Join the Beamer community.
Aren't you so glad that I found this thing?
B-pad.
Also, that nameless friend also says it works. And that he feels great after he uses it.
Well, nameless friend is kind of dumb, so.
Yeah.
I agree. Nameless friend is dumb.
And I'll tell that to nameless friend's face. Nameless friend, if you're listening to this, you're an idiot.
Dude, we can't lose a listener, man.
No. Nameless friend, if you actually hear this, text me and we'll get into a battle.
Well, here's the thing: is that I don't think anyone. I think even if you listen to it, you're out by minute 30.
Yeah, there's no way they make it this far.
Like,
yeah,
an hour. That's a long time to ask anyone to listen to us.
I mean, we have been talking about nothing.
Yeah, really, just not interesting.
Yeah, I mean, good golly. And even the Elijah Hood stuff's at the end, so it's like
that was the best part.
Yeah, that was the best part. No one is gonna hear that. I mean, that's the funniest part about it is that we made an outro that nobody's gonna hear.
I was thinking that too. Yeah, we gotta tell people at the very beginning of the podcast that you better stick around until the end because we got a great outro.
Just check it out.
Yeah.
Goddamn. All right. Well, let's end it on there.
Good stuff.
I'm glad I remembered to tell you those stories about that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm.